Help me welcome Rick Olson. Have you ever had one of those days where you don't know how you got there, but you're pretty sure it's not your fault? I had one of those days. It was just last year. It was President's Day, to be exact. I was at home enjoying the holiday when I heard a knock on the door. I looked to see who it is, and it's a police car. I haven't had one of those since I was a teenager. Wonder what he wants. Finally caught up to me. I opened the door, and he said, "Is Karen Olson here?" Karen's my wife. I said, "No, sir, she's at work. Can I ask what this is about?" He said, "Yeah, we had some bomb threats at her gym, and she has some explaining to do." Now, this honestly went through my mind. I know she's not happy with the results she's getting, but even that's pretty extreme for her. To make a long story short, it just so happens that the 2 days that she was there early in the morning, she was the only female, and there were bomb threat notices. We had to retain a lawyer, a lot of stress, a lot of headache, a lot of worry. It ended up okay. In fact, if you believe in karma, or whatever you believe in, the original officer that came to my house that day was arrested while in uniform for a DUI in a church parking lot. So we were able to laugh about it now, but it was pretty stressful. Life's not scripted. We'd like it to be, but it's not scripted. And we have moments where you go, this wasn't the plan. I used to work for AIG. You may remember AIG had some hard time for a while. They were too big to fail. And that gave me the encouragement to try comedy. Because in comedy, I'm too big to fail. Right? One of my comedic mentors is named Gene Parrott. Gene says, he defines a sense of humor this way. You have to be able to see things as they are, recognize things as they are, and accept things as they are. I don't know about those first two, but I do know how important it is to accept things as they are. Because I've met a lot of unhappy people who try to argue with reality, and they're just miserable. And they're right, it's not fair. It wasn't their fault. Karen, my wife, and I went through this. You didn't do anything. You were just at the wrong place or the right place. I don't know. Were you happy with the gym? You were in the right place at the wrong time. And we can't control those things. But what we can control is how we respond. I'm here to encourage you to respond with laughter. Because when you laugh, your brain releases endorphins. It reduces happy chemicals. And it's actually part of the reward center of our brain. It feels good to laugh. You don't have to. You can be stressed and worry and let that cortisol just course through your veins, the stress hormone. Or you can choose to laugh. And sometimes it's hard to laugh when you're in the middle of it. So if you can't laugh about it, find something to laugh about. For me, I go to Whole Foods. There is a lot of funny stuff at Whole Foods. I don't know if you've noticed it. Just the other day I was there, they were giving out samples of tofurkey. No idea what it was, but it sounds interesting, right? Turns out there is an entire industry that takes things like seaweed and tofu and tries to turn it into things that taste like meat for people that don't eat meat. And that's fine. I have no issue with vegan or vegetarian, but now I have to decide vegan meatballs. Does it or doesn't it? Just tell me, help me out. So the guy was given samples of tofurkey, and he was a little bit pale, a little frail, a little anemic looking. I think he needs some red meat. And I went by and he said, "You want to try my tofurkey?" And I said, "What?" I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, it tastes just like turkey." I said, "Are you vegetarian?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "How do you know?" I think he was lying to me. And on the hot food bar, they have vegan meatballs. I was like, does it or doesn't? You see, when it comes to food, I've got an issue, you may have noticed. If I was a vegetarian, I wouldn't eat meat. I wouldn't use the word meat in any form. I would be so afraid of anything with a hint of animal. Right? I wouldn't be happy to meet you. Right? I wouldn't go to meet and greet. I wouldn't join meetup.com. I wouldn't go to swap meet. I wouldn't give a piggyback ride. I'd have to quit horsing around. And I'd have to quit pigging out. That one would be hard to do. And that is a lot of puns. And some of you, I can tell by the look on your face, would rather have a chimichanga than another pun from me. So we'll move on. Nothing is more important than laughter in our relationships. It's proven for longevity. You can always look back on the things that you laugh about. And just thinking about those funny moments in life, it is just as good as a laugh. My wife and I have been married 24 years, June 8th. 24 years in a row to each other. And people want to know two things. They always ask, what's the secret to a happy marriage? And I have to tell them I have no idea. Seeing where the audience is at. I tell them, the best advice we got was wait to have kids. Right? That advice has been so good. 24 years later, we're still waiting. We don't have kids. But if you do have kids, I've got some words of advice for you. I'm so sorry. So we don't have kids, but we have a lot of fun. The problem with our relationship is that she likes to go places and see things. And I like to see things too. I just don't want to have to leave home to do it. I've got internet, I've got cable, I've got the couch. I'll give you an example. At Christmas time, they have a giant Christmas tree anthem. You guys know about the giant Christmas tree anthem? I came home and she said, I want to go see the giant Christmas tree anthem. And I said, Karen, how do you know? Honey, how do you know? Well, I saw it in the paper. Okay, so you've seen it. Aww. A groan is as good as a laugh to me. So, if you're married, you know how this goes. We're up in Anthem looking at the giant Christmas tree. And it's pretty. I got nostalgic. Thinking way back to before at home in the paper. It looked just like it. She said, it's not the same. I said, you're right, it's not the same. And when we moved here, she wanted to go see the view from the South Mountain. So I pulled it up on Google and I said, there you go, honey. Hiker Girl 33 has already done the work. That's not what I want to see it for myself. So she drugged me up South Mountain. I wished I'd been drugged. I wasn't drugged, but she drugged me up. It's hot. And I'm sweaty and thirsty and tired and angry and a whiny pants. That's why we don't have kids, because I am one. We get to the top, and the first thing she does, you don't want to guess? Takes a picture, exactly. She said, you want to see it, honey? I was like, oh yeah, it looks like that. It looks like before. Oh. When I was on the couch, and I wasn't hot, sweaty, and thirsty, and tired, and angry. But then we turned around to go home. We turned around to go home. You know what there was the whole time? A road. One you could drive up in a car, sitting down, with air conditioning, drinking a Polar Pop. It stays cold all day long, but you wouldn't care because you're in a car with air conditioning. And now she's mad because I'm being a whiny pants, and we're on our way home, and I said, you want to go get some ice cream? Because she loves ice cream. She's not, she's texting or yelping or twiddling or something. Maybe she's texting mother-in-law, I don't know at this point, but I'm worried. I was like, you want to go get some ice cream, honey? She pulls out her phone and says, there's your ice cream. Hubby. And it was a picture of a banana split. And it was at that moment I realized she's right. A picture is not worth 1,000 words when it comes to ice cream. Some things you need to really experience. Like ice cream. So I encourage you, the rest of the program, to consider the moments of your life that aren't scripted. To see things as they are, recognize things as they are, but quickly get to the point of acceptance. Because at the point of acceptance, you can laugh, you can move on, and make your way through those moments of your life.